Hey guys, Creeper01. Welcome back to another video. I'm here with Pop, and today we're going to be talking about old stories. So if you could, please like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. So today I'm going to be doing old stories. Got some really good old stories for you guys today. Wearing my new goth jacket. Can you believe it? So, she just woke up from her nap. But, that's not why we're here. We're here today, me and Pop, today, and we're going to talk about stories. So let's get into this. I'm being leisurely. I know you probably saw my toe. Not wearing any shoes, but my house, so anyway, but yeah, so the first story I want to talk about is the time I thought a bear sounded like a monster. Now you're probably like, Creeper01, why? Why? Well, the reason I think it sounded like a bear is because it was actually in the valley, okay? It was in the valley, and it was just being there in the valley, and it made a growl, okay? I'm not gonna lie, it made like a growl. And, well, thing is, thank you for licking finger. The thing is, practically, hold on, Pop. You're gonna be in this video with me. Alright. But practically, it growled, and, you know, thing is, it growled, and it just sounded wild. I don't know. Plus, it kind of sounded muffled because the thing is, I don't know. I don't know why it sounded muffled, but I just know it sounded muffled. So, but I was with Sweetie, and we were walking actually over there where I normally walk, and yeah. So that was fun. I really enjoyed that. Also, another thing I wanted to say about this story is that, yes, I know, I see you. I see you, babies. It was during the day. It was during the day, and I thought, what in the world? What is going on? You know, what's happening? But, thing is, it was just an interesting time, because I literally did like 3 or 4 laps over there. So, and I was walking her, and just walking around in laps, and all of a sudden, I hear a roar, like this bear, but it sounded echoey, because it was in the valley, right? And it sounded like a monster. And it was actually the time before the video that I made saying there's a monster in the woods. It could have been the same bear. So it could have been. I just thought it was wild because this bear sounded like a monster, and I thought I'd share that story with you guys on this video. So there's that story. Now I'm going to get into the story about how I actually did something very cool. And I know it's nowhere near Halloween, but it was actually the time I was doing actually a Halloween parade. And I didn't have her yet, this little rascal here. I didn't have her yet. Yes, I know. I love you too, but you're in this video. But yeah, but I was in a Halloween parade. This was when I was in kindergarten, and it was actually the K1 building. That's what we all call it in Fayetteville. It's now a police station, and it was right next to the old. It's very fidgety. You're very fidgety. It was. Let me fix your paw. I must be uncomfortable. All right, there you go. There you go. It's next to the old elementary school. However, they're turning it into, or they've already turned it into apartments. And yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I might get an apartment there one day. Who knows? Who knows? I was actually thinking getting one here, but not the point. Not the point. So yeah, but moral of the story is, I was dressed up in a costume. I think I had like a skull mask or something like that. I had some type of scary mask. Might have been Darth Vader. I don't really remember. It was something really cool. And I know I was dressed in all black. I know that. And it was like this cape looking, outfit for Halloween. So, and what I did was, me and my class, and this was on Halloween day, and we were preparing for Halloween night, and we actually sat there and walked the whole town of Fayetteville in the block. We went around the library, we went close to where Willie's house is, and then we went around the post office, we went around the whole entire, and even including the bank. We went around in the memorial building. We went around the entire, basically the whole town of Fayetteville, like the heart and the center of it. It was really cool. We met some really nice people in Fayetteville. It was a really good experience, and just really enjoyed it, So, yes? Do you have an introduction to say? You want to add to the story? But yeah, basically, it was just a really fun experience. I had my friends. One of my friends' name is Brandon. I talked to him some. I think his name was Brandon. It's been so long ago, man. It's been so long. And then there was a few other people. But yeah. So we did that, and it took us a good 45 minutes to walk around, because we did like an actual loop. So it was pretty fun. I was thinking about doing a live stream on this. However, it's actually good to do what I'm doing now and just make a proper video. You're so fidgety in this video. But yeah, so there was that. So I got some more stories, so it's going to be a really long video, but I hope you guys enjoyed anyway. Just switching stuff up and, just having a good time with it. So, one thing I wanted to talk about, one story in particular, was the time that I thought I found real gold, okay? So, and I was a little kid, I was a little kid. And so, me, Mom, and Dad went to Nanny and Papa's house. And they have a driveway that is gravel as such, and we drove up in it. We had our... I think we had our station wagon, actually. I think we had our station wagon, and we just, we were skirting, driving, and we pulled up in the... We pulled up in the thing, and yeah, it was cool. We like being at Nanny and Papa's because they are just fun people, and plus they're related to us, so of course they're fun. So there was that, but that's not the point. The point is, I don't know how this became. I don't know how science worked into this, but my mind, like this brain of mine, went everywhere as a kid. I had such a big imagination like I do now. And it went places, man. It went places. And one of the places it went to was I thought I was rich. I also thought about that another time, but I mentioned that story, so I don't think I'll mention it in this video. Unless if I think about it later on in a different video. But yeah. So, it's getting really sweepy. Anyway, so be comfy, pup. Here, prop yourself up. Prop yourself up. she's being so fidgety, aren't you, baby? Yes, you are. But basically, I sat there. Are you grinning at me? Are you grinning at me? You're grinning. Are you smiling at me? Nice. Be happy, pup. Anyway, so I thought I was rich, and the reason I thought I was rich was because my nanny also has like this gravel path, right? Well, had this gravel path, and I saw something shining in the corner of my eye, and I'm like, okay, let's just let her down. I'm gonna let her down. Anyway, so I thought, hey, Mom, do you see that over there? And she's like, yeah, I do. And so I went over to it, and I bent down, and I looked directly at it, and I saw this rock. And it actually appeared to me to look like gold. And I'm like, Mom, I think I found gold. And she's like, what? Where? And so she goes over to it, right? She goes over to it. She picks it up. She looks at it. She like bends over. She picks it up. She's looking at it. She's like, huh? Is this gold? She's like, Clarence, come here. Clarence, come over here. I think you found gold. And she comes over to where I'm at, closer to me. And he comes over to where I'm at too. And we all three look at it. And then Nanny opens the door, stands on her porch and goes, what's going on? And then Mom looks at Nanny and goes, I think you found gold. And she's like, really? But it actually wasn't. What it actually was fool's gold, and it looked like gold. And it was, like, really cool looking. I think I still have it in one of my containers. But yeah, so had one of those, and it was really cool. It was really cool, man. But yeah, no, that was the time I thought we found gold in the driveway. So there was that. So there was that, and then not only that though, but there's a but here. But there's some other stories I'm going to be talking about in this video, and I hope you guys enjoy them. If you're enjoying this video and you made it this far, comment down below. Because why not? Why not? We like comments, don't we? So anyway, basically, I sat there, and thought it was gold. So now I'm going to be talking about the time I actually got on to a coal camp type thing. It was a museum as well for coal. I think I might have mentioned this, but I actually got to see some really neat stuff. I mean, I don't necessarily know how many years ago, but it was a handful of years ago, and because I don't remember the exact date of when this like coal camp area was like made and stuff, but I actually got to see coal from years and years ago. Like, it was a long time ago, let's just put it that way. And I even saw this replica of a coal train, and I stood in it, and it was made out of actual real steel metal. Like, you put your foot down and you stomp on it, and it was real metal, and you can hear the real like metal clang sound. So that was cool. And yeah, it was a really good experience. We looked all over, and then there was like this church near it, and at one point it used to be actually a town, because it was a church, and we went in the church, and it was like a coal church and stuff like that, because it was surrounded by nothing but coal. Like, it was a coal town. Like, they ran off of like coal, I'm assuming, because it was coal based. And the museum was coal based and stuff, and had this mine cart, you know? So, which reminds me of another story. So, that was a pretty short story. I'm done with that story. So here's this one. So, in this story, was actually the time I actually went underground in an underground tunnel, and there was minecart tracks, and I got to walk along them. So, I forgot where it was actually, but it was also a museum somewhere else, and it was a different museum. And it was damp, it was cold. You had to wear a jacket like this. You know, you had to like be kitted out for this whole journey and stuff like that. And what I really enjoyed about it was it really brought me back to like a time where it was simpler times. Like, this museum made you feel like you were in times where you just were in somewhere else. Like, you were like in gaze, and you were just like, wow. So, but no, it made you go places, man. It really did. So, yeah, but it was really damp. Me and Mom and Dad went, and, you know, Mom brought her cardigan, and Dad brought his jacket, and we all went in there. They actually recommended it because it was quite chilly in there. It was like 50 degrees even. And it was pretty chilly. And sometimes it would get to like 49, 48 degrees, depending. The coldest it's ever been in there apparently is 45 degrees. So, yeah, pretty chilly. So we went in there, and the tunnel stretched on a long way, and then there was actually a kitchen at one point in this museum in the tunnel underground. Yeah, that's right. And I guess this was where the miners would cook, because they were down there for so long, and they actually cooked in this mines, and it was so cool. And we got to see this museum. It was huge, dude. Like the tunnels stretched on and on, like for a long time, and it was very damp. Like the walls, like the rock walls, the rock floor, the rock ceiling were wet a lot because. Sorry, my phone went off. But basically, you know, they were wet all the time because of the moisture in the mines and in this museum. And you couldn't regulate it. You couldn't regulate the temperature. It was like that all the time. And there was a few other rooms. And they actually put this in. There was a lounge room where there was like this mini sofa, and you could sit in there and stuff like that. And then they had another room where there was a projector, and you could watch how mining was way back when, in the 1900s and stuff. And let's make a year up, let's say it's 1910, you know, around that time, if that makes sense. Man. Anyway, so basically there was that, and then we left and we went home. It was a really good experience. Really good experience. And it was here in West Virginia. I just don't remember where in West Virginia it was. So, there was that story. Let's see what other stories we got here in store for us. Okay, I got one. It was the very first time that I got to sit in a Mustang, okay? So, me, Mom, and Dad, we went to a car show, and I actually remember what color the Mustang was. It was actually a yellow Mustang, and me, Mom, and Dad went to this car show. It was during the summer. And we went, and there was this guy and his wife. And he had his car door open. You know, he had the Mustang door open. And he had a very nice interior. Like, it was very nice. Dad actually said to him, he said, "Hey, sir." He went, "Yes, sir, how can I help you? Are you enjoying this lovely car day?" And we're like, "Yes, sir, we are." He sat there and he was like, Dad was like, "Can we, sit in your car? Is that okay?" And the guy goes, "Well, yeah, come on in. Sit in the driver's seat." So Dad got to sit in it, and he was sitting in it, and he said, "Is it okay if my son sits in it too?" And he's like, "Absolutely, go ahead, sit in it." And I sat in it, and it was very cool. I was like, wow. And I was looking up at the ceiling of the roof of this Mustang, and it was just really nice. And I got out and was like, "Thank you, sir." And he was the only guy that did that. He was the only guy that let us sit in his vintage car. So it was cool. So there was that story. He was a nice guy. I got another story. So this story was the time I saw my first bald eagle. Now this was really cool. It was up and personal. I couldn't get a picture of it because I was just way too amazed by this bald eagle. We actually saw a bald eagle, and I was actually with Willie and his family, his mom and dad, Josh and Daya, and I believe I was with Catherine and Micah, and we were actually heading to the park. I think we actually headed to what's funny is we actually headed to, what was it? I don't think it was Hawk's Nest. I don't think. Actually, yes, I think it actually was Hawk's Nest. Okay, it was Hawk's Nest, and we all headed there for a picnic one evening, and they have this place where you can overlook this hill, and there's like a big drop, right? This big drop. And there was like a grass patch like in front of this glass window, right? And yeah, so me, Willie, Catherine, and Micah were all looking at it, and there was like this zip line where you could zip line on this zip line, right? And well, it was a sunny day. It was getting close to evening, and all of a sudden, this big bird flew abruptly in front of us, in front of this glass window. And all we could see was this bird, and then it landed, and it was this big bald eagle. And Willie looks at his mom and goes, "Mom, there's a bald eagle right here. Come over here quick." And so Josh and Mom and Dad came over, and I think Dad actually got some pictures of it. He started snapping some pictures of it. And yeah, so it was our first time seeing a bald eagle up in person, which was really cool. Oh wow, this video is 28 minutes long. Whew. Anyway, so there was that. And then I'll tell one more story and then I'm going to end this video. But basically, this story is actually going to be about how I actually sat there and I encountered let me think. I've encountered a lot of stuff, so I'm trying to think of what particularly today I want to talk about. What I particularly encountered. Oh yeah, when I encountered my first bobcat. And you're probably like, Creeper01, what? Huh? Anyway, so there's a hill over there. And it's actually pretty close to this apartment complex right here, right? Well, I was outside walking Sweetie one afternoon, and it didn't make a noise or anything like that. You probably know where I'm going with this. But basically, it was just, going around the tree, didn't think much of anything. Then I saw something in the distance, and it ran over the hill that's over here. Something ran. I'm like, what's that? So I looked closer, and I got closer to, like, the edge of, like, this hill. And I saw it, and it was quite big. Like, it was, like, it expanded from, like, this end of this, like, sofa to, like, about the other end of this sofa, And I'm like, what's that? And it looked like a really big cat. And I'm like, no, that can't be a cat. That's a bobcat. And it was huge. And I saw its fur and stuff like that. It was like tannish, And I looked over at it. And it looked at me. And it was just like sniffing the grass. And then it ran back over the hill. And I'm like, oh, thank God. And then I came back in with Sweetie. And I'm like, I'm going to stay in here for a bit. Because I don't want to encounter it, for another time. Because that'd be bad. And so, yeah. And I told Mom about it. And she sat there and was like, so you saw a bobcat? And I was like, yeah. She went, you better stay in here. I said, do you ever think... I actually said this because I was younger. But I actually said to her, I said, do you ever think we'd see, like, pumas and stuff like that, and, like, leopards and stuff? She said, no, not around here, but bobcats and mountain lions, yes, you would. Because I made that comment when I was younger, but, yeah. So that was the time I saw my very first bobcat. So anyway, that's pretty much it. I'll catch you guys later, and I hope you guys enjoyed this old stories video. So, thank you for coming on here. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, like the video, comment below, like the video, comment below, subscribe, subscribe, and just have a good day, okay? See you later. This has been Creeper01 Slayer. Thank you for watching this video. Goodbye. And as always, guys, creep it out.